Hello, I'm back. It's Fursade again. So, I missed my upload schedule. I completely forgot about it. I had a lot of stuff to do yesterday and I failed to post. So, there probably will be maybe 3 videos today, 2 regular, 1 short. And so today we're gonna do the story and the arts and crafts video. The arts and crafts video might come later today. And I'm sorry for missing my upload schedule. So without further ado, let's get into the Fursade story. So we're gonna start. This episode's gonna be the prologue. There's gonna be, I don't know how many episodes there's gonna be, but next Saturday we're gonna do chapter 1, chapter 2, and so forth until we get to the end, and then we'll do that. So let's get started. So the story actually doesn't start on Fenaria. It starts on this other planet called Varoxina. Yeah. Sorry. And the first, right? You remember I showed you the first drawing was a separate being. Now, remember how I told you about the single body organism? Oh my god, my friend later. Remember when I showed y'all the single body organism, right? I'll probably put a picture in editing, but yeah, that Varoxina was destroyed, and the first is fleeing from the destruction in an attempt to get away from the singularity, because at this time he wasn't strong enough to defeat the singularity. Yes, we're already having things being destroyed. Don't question it. So the first, as a separate body, goes to this empty universe, right? Like there's nothing there, no planets, no anything, just a sun, right? And while he's like, oh my god, what happened? Like, what am I gonna do? He looks around and thinks, maybe this is an opportunity. Maybe I can make something better than Varoxina, because Varoxina was messed up. Like nothing there would made sense. Nothing worked. Like, so the first thought, what if I could make another Varoxina, but make it better? Like to get rid of all the flaws, get rid of all the things, get rid of all the bad things, and keep it away from the single body organism at most. So he did that. He had used his sword, the remembered blades, to cast this ritual rite, which formed all of the planets on Fornarian universe. So it formed Sunuchu, this water planet, Phoenixa, the fire planet, and the main planet, Fenaria, I'm getting sidetracked. And a primitive Fenaria. Now, Fenaria, it looks way different now than it does when it was first made, so yeah, it's kind of like Earth in a way. It looked a different way, but it looks different now. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, I'm sorry, my throat got clogged. Anyway, so but Fenarians, they couldn't survive. Like, any time a Fenarian emerged, they would always die. So not the one, but I'm getting too far ahead. The first, in his original body, made Fenaria. He forced Fenarians to exist. They're not supposed to exist, but they were forced by the first to exist. And honestly, it's kind of messed up, but honestly, it's how the story goes. So the first had placed all these different Fenarian males, Fenarian females, everything, and he just let them go. Like, he let them evolve, and while he knew that if he stayed here, the single body organism would eventually find them, he gave his life to ensure that would never happen. So what he did is he casted this self-sacrificing ritual which would destroy his original body, but would transfer his power to his sword, so the sword could protect the universe from the singularity coming back. Yes, I sound insane. Anyway, so yeah, Fenarians were abandoned by their original creator, but they were abandoned for a good reason, because if the first didn't do that, like, the singularity would have found them and killed them all over again. So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go through Fenarian evolution and the birth of the One and the prophecy before we wrap this out. So we're gonna go through all of that in this video. So, Fenarian evolution, right? They were pretty similar to us, except they didn't evolve from anything. They just kind of appeared on Fenaria one day, and they started evolving. Now, at first, they weren't anything. Like they were just animals that walked on two legs, didn't have anything much to them. But as time went on, they started developing a lot like us, just a lot faster. Like they invented the wheel, they invented electricity, they invented a lot of stuff in a very short period of time. And they quickly grew to a pretty organized civilization. Like they had these different like things, like different biomes. Like I'm saying was the Neon City, Endless Jungle, Sandscar Desert, Soul Swamp, and the Void, which we don't talk about the Void. Anyway, so yeah, they quickly grew while we were still like stuck in. So like we were in the 1800s. They were in like 2000, the early 2000s or whatever. And yeah, so they quickly grew, and we're gonna skip a lot of stuff because it's not really important to the story, and we're gonna get to the birth of the one. Now, before the first died, right? Before he died, he had left this prophecy, right? I'm gonna read it to you. Heed my words, and I'm gonna quote it. And I quote: "Heed my words, Fenarians. There will come a time where I cannot protect you, and a dark omen, the singularity, will eventually find you. But once this vessel is born, like once I select my vessel, it'll be a day to remember." That was prophecy. Yeah, I quote that. I don't mean to sound mentally deranged. So, birth of the one, right? The one was born on an unknown day because I didn't really think that far ahead. So, as the one grew up, he started gaining these powers, right? Like, but he had like no idea how to control them. I mean, obviously he's like 7 years old at this time. And yeah, so I haven't really showed y'all the one. I'm gonna show y'all the one real quick because I don't have a really good render of him, but I don't have a really good render of him. Well, I'll just put him in editing. So I'll put it in editing. So this is a picture of the one, right? Well, the current one, but at this time he's like 7 years old, so he doesn't know what he's doing. Now, when he grew up to be about 14, 15, he had joined this group called, I didn't really think that far ahead. Wow. We're just gonna call it the group. Like I didn't think that far ahead. I did not think that far ahead. We'll just call him group. So he had joined group to like control his powers, like, like what does this do, what does that do, and he eventually learns that he was born with something called the divine shadow technique. So he's allowed to control like all types of shadows, like shade, shadow, void, anything. Like if it's black and it's a shadow, he can control it. Like there's nothing off the table for him. And he eventually learns that, I have this sword called Forgotten Blades. I'll put a picture of that in editing. Sorry. And like yeah, he did all of that, and yeah, he eventually met the fourth, the second. Well, they're not really named that, obviously, but he just calls them that because he doesn't know any better. So he eventually met the fourth, the second, the fifth, like all of them, and they eventually formed a group called the Five Deities. Now at this point, everyone forgot about the single body organism Veronica. Like they were all gone. Like they believed that the singularity would never find them again. Until he did. Yeah. Until he eventually did. Now, at this point, like he couldn't get in there. Like the first power was still active at this time, and he couldn't really get to Fenaria to destroy it. So what he did was he called upon Satan to like weaken the first defense over time, like very slowly. Like no one knew this was going on, so he called on Satan to weaken the first defense over time, and then eventually he would be able to get there. Now the first had like no idea he was like this vessel to the first, and he had no idea the first even existed. So like, what can he do, right? Like, there's nothing he could possibly do. This has been 10 minutes so far. We're gonna go a little longer because I like doing this. And yeah, so there's this group, right? Well, am I jumping too far ahead? Am I jumping too far ahead? No, I'm not jumping too far ahead. So we're gonna put the one to aside from now on. We're gonna put the one aside right now. So there's this group, right? There's this group, and they don't like the one. Like, they know he's the prophet to the first, but they don't like him. Like what right do you have to protect us from that thing? If we need protecting from that thing, we'll call upon like the military or something, knowing damn well the military can't do anything. So what they do is they form this group, right? And they want to help the Singularity, like, destroy Fenaria for some reason. Don't ask me, ask them. Well, you can't ask them, but still, don't ask me. Don't ask me. It's hot. I just woke up, and yeah, I'm not really thinking straight. So yeah, that's probably gonna wrap it up. That's gonna wrap it up. Yeah, we have these two groups, right? We got group, right? They're like training the one to be something he doesn't even know he is yet. And we have this other group where like they don't like the one and they want to help out the Singularity. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna sum in an 11-minute video. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up the prologue. Now next Saturday we'll do chapter 1, like, okay, this is about to go down, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and yeah, we'll go on until we eventually get to the end of the story with the main fight between the first in the one's body and the Hellfire Demon. I'll put a picture of those two in the thumbnail or wherever. And yeah, that's gonna wrap this up. If you made it this far, hi, I'm Fursade. Please subscribe. I do a lot of cool stuff here. I play a game. I play Outcome Memories. I play whatever I feel like, and I'll do arts and crafts later today. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. I'll see you guys later. Also, I made a change of lighting, so that happened. And yeah, see you.